Have you ever noticed how certain colors hold a deeper meaning in our tradition? Colors that are linked not just to beauty, but to spiritual blessing, respect, and even unexpected opportunities. In Islam, Friday, Jumu'ah, is not just another day, it is the master of days, a time when prayers are multiplied and doors of Barakah open wide. Now imagine aligning this sacred day with the colors that symbolize purity, strength, and the very promise of paradise. Stay with me until the end, because you will not only discover which colors to wear on Fridays, but also how these choices are tied to real-life stories happening right now across the world, and timeless lessons straight from the Quran that can transform the way you experience this blessed day. Before we dive in, comment below. What color do you usually wear on Fridays and why? Why Friday matters in Islam. Friday, or Jumu'ah, is no ordinary day. It is known as Sayyid al-Ayyam, the master of all days. It is the day when Prophet Adam alayhi salam was created, when he was entered into paradise, and when he was forgiven by Allah. It is also the day on which the hour will be established. That's why Jumu'ah carries a weight unlike any other. On this day, the angels record those who attend the Friday prayer. The reward for reciting Surah Al-Kahf is a light shining until the next week, and every good deed is multiplied. Allah Himself commands us in the Quran, "O you who have believed, when the call is made for the prayer on the day of Jumu'ah, then proceed to the remembrance of Allah and leave off trade. That is better for you if you only knew." Surah Al-Jumu'ah 62:9. So what happens when we combine the immense barakah of Friday with the symbolism of colors? Colors that reflect purity, success, strength, and divine light? That's where the doors of opportunity begin to open in ways you never imagined. If you've ever felt that Fridays feel different, almost spiritually charged, type yes in the comments right now. Symbolism of colors in Islam. In Islam, colors are not just decoration. They carry meanings that touch the heart and remind us of higher truths. Let's look at a few that stand out, especially on Fridays. White. The Prophet loved white garments, saying they represent purity and simplicity. He encouraged Muslims to wear white for prayer and even for burial, reminding us that this color reflects humility before Allah and a clean heart. Wearing white on Friday is like stepping into the day with spiritual clarity. Green, perhaps the most celebrated color in our tradition. The Quran itself describes the people of paradise as wearing garments of fine green silk. Surah Al-Insan 76:21. Green symbolizes life, renewal, and eternal success. It is no surprise that many mosques and Islamic calligraphy embrace this color so deeply. Black. At certain times, the Prophet was reported to have worn black clothing. Black carries connotations of strength, dignity, and seriousness. It can remind us of discipline and steadfastness, qualities that hold special weight when we stand before Allah in Jumu'ah prayer. Yellow, gold. In Surah Al-Baqarah 269, Allah describes the yellow cow as a color pleasing to the eye. Yellow and golden shades bring brightness, optimism, and joy. Wearing these shades can lift the spirit and spread positivity to those around us. Each of these colors carries its own blessing, but when chosen with the right intention, especially on Friday, they can transform how we feel, how others perceive us, and even how opportunities flow into our lives. Comment which of these colors you feel most connected to: white, green, black, or yellow, and why. Real-life stories, modern examples. Now let's move from symbolism to stories happening in our world today. Stories that show how wearing certain colors on Fridays can create ripple effects of positivity, respect, and even opportunity. Take the story of a shopkeeper in Jakarta. For months, his sales were steady but nothing special. Then, out of respect for Jumu'ah, he began wearing clean white shirts or sometimes a green scarf every Friday. He noticed something unusual. Customers not only greeted him with more warmth, but they seemed more willing to linger, to buy, and even to recommend his shop to others. Within weeks, his Friday earnings nearly doubled. He describes it not as magic, but as Barakah, the blessing that comes when outward respect meets inward intention. Or consider the testimony of a young woman in Lagos, Nigeria. She shared online that she made a habit of wearing white on Fridays, inspired by the Sunnah. At first, it felt like just a personal discipline, but then she noticed something surprising. Multiple job interviews and callbacks for new opportunities kept coincidentally falling on Fridays. In her words, it was as if Allah aligned my efforts with the blessings of Jumu'ah. Even on social media, the power of Friday colors has caught attention. Many young Muslims participate in what they call the Friday Whites Challenge, posting pictures of themselves in white outfits and sharing reflections on how the day unfolded. Some speak of improved confidence, others of unexpected kindness from strangers, and a few even mention new opportunities that seemed to appear out of nowhere. These stories remind us that colors themselves do not create wealth or success. Allah is the provider. But when you step into Friday wearing colors tied to purity, dignity, and paradise, it changes your mindset, the way people see you, and perhaps the way opportunities reach you. Do you believe these are coincidences or signs of Barakah? Let me know your thoughts below. How to apply this on Fridays? So how can you put this into practice and experience the blessings for yourself? It doesn't have to be complicated. Start with clean white if possible. The Prophet encouraged white for its purity, humility, and simplicity. If you want to add more depth, bring in a touch of green, maybe a scarf, a tie, a hijab, or even a small accessory, as a reminder of the garments of paradise described in the Quran. But here's the key. Make the intention for Allah. This is not superstition or color magic. It is a way to honor Jumu'ah, to beautify yourself for the sake of prayer, and to remind yourself of the blessings tied to these colors. And don't stop at clothing. Combine it with the Sunnah of Friday. Take a proper ghusl, use perfume, read Surah Al-Kahf, and make abundant dua. When you align your outward appearance with inner devotion, you step fully into the light of Jumu'ah, and that's where opportunities and barakah flow. This Friday, try one of these colors intentionally and come back here to share what happened. Deal, link to wealth and opportunities. Now let's connect this to something practical, wealth and opportunities. Islam does not teach that colors themselves create money, but Islam does teach us about barakah, blessings that multiply in unseen ways when we align our actions with faith. When you wear these colors on Friday, you are doing more than dressing up. You are increasing your self-confidence, presenting yourself with dignity, and radiating positivity that attracts people to you. That positive attention can lead to friendships, business connections, or even job opportunities. Many entrepreneurs and leaders across the world intentionally wear certain colors to symbolize strength, optimism, or purity, and they notice the difference in how people respond to them. For a believer, when this intention is tied to honoring Jumu'ah, it's no longer just psychology. It becomes a pathway for divine barakah to enter. Would you like me to make a follow-up video with more stories of how colors influenced opportunities? Type follow-up in the comments. As we wrap up, let's remember why Friday is so special. Friday is the master of days, a time of heightened spirituality, prayer, and divine attention. By choosing to wear certain colors, white, green, black, or yellow, you're not just dressing up. You are connecting to purity, paradise, dignity, and optimism, aligning yourself with the blessings and barakah that Allah bestows on this sacred day. It's important to note, this isn't superstition. The colors themselves do not bring wealth or success. What matters is your intention, your mindfulness, and your devotion. By wearing these colors with sincerity, you remind yourself of Allah's light, and you open your heart to His guidance and blessings. So here's what I want you to do. Subscribe and like if you found this video meaningful. Comment below what color you'll wear next Friday. Share your personal story of any positive change, unexpected opportunity, or barakah you notice after putting this into practice. Your story could inspire someone else. Comment what happens the next Friday you try this, and maybe I'll feature your story in the next video.